Welcome to the Baboom podcast, your go-to source for expert tips on car stereo installation, vehicle wiring, and all things wiring related. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just getting started, we've got the advice to help you power up your ride. Get ready to crank up the volume on your knowledge and make your next wiring project a success.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really tuning into something special, crafting that perfect listening space right in your own home. We're looking at a guide from Baboom called How to Set Up an Audiophile-Grade Listening Room at Home.
Yeah, it's a great piece.
And our goal here is to really pull out the core ideas, the essentials you need to understand to get that truly immersive sound.
Exactly. This Baboom article, it really lays out a kind of roadmap,
Yeah.
Taking a normal room and turning it into, well, a sonic sanctuary.
Sonic sanctuary, I like that.
It covers, everything from just picking the room all the way to the really fine points of speaker placement and tweaking things.
Right.
So we're here to walk through those key steps and maybe uncover some of those aha moments that can really make a difference for you.
Yeah, think of this as your backstage pass, really.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding how to get the absolute most out of your gear and the music you love.
Who have getting bogged down.
Exactly. We'll skip the super dense tech speak, focus on the principles that actually deliver that incredible sound. And speaking of principles, did you know the actual shape of your room can massively change the sound?
Oh, absolutely. It's foundational.
Or that, like a simple rug, strategically placed, is way more than just decoration in these setups.
It really is. Those are the fascinating details we need to unpack.
Okay, so where do we start? The article kicks off with choosing the room itself, right?
It does, and it's a step people often, gloss over, but it's so important. The article really highlights why a rectangular shape is usually better, ideally maybe 1.6 times longer than wide.
Okay, 1.6 times. Why is that better than, say, a square room?
Well, think about sound waves bouncing around. In a square room, those reflections can sort of line up and build on each other in really predictable and often bad ways.
Creating those sonic hotspots, like booming bass in one spot and maybe nothing in another.
Precisely. You get uneven sound. A rectangle helps break up those reflections, makes the sound distribute more evenly, less chaotic.
Makes sense. The article also says fewer large windows are preferable.
Yeah, because windows are big, flat, reflective surfaces, like sound mirrors. They just bounce sound around, which can really muddy the clarity, create unwanted echoes, that kind of thing. Same reason they advise against rooms packed with lots of random furniture.
Because every object adds its own reflections and diffractions. Is that the word?
Diffraction, yeah. It bends the sound waves, so simpler is often better as a starting point.
Okay, now this was interesting. The piece suggests maybe avoiding basements because of humidity and noise.
Yeah, that's a really practical point. Humidity isn't great for electronics long-term.
True.
And basements, while they can sometimes pick up low rumbles, vibrations from HVAC systems, maybe even outside traffic noise you don't notice upstairs.
Things you wouldn't immediately think of.
Right. And they also mention, if you have the choice, rooms that already have things like carpeting or heavy curtains, bookshelves, they're naturally a better starting point acoustically.
Because all those soft things soak up sound, right? Absorb those reflections we don't want.
Exactly. They act like natural sound absorbers. And location matters too, apparently. Pick a room away from, say, the kitchen or the main hallway if you can.
Minimize that background noise.
Yeah.
Keep you in the music. Okay, so you've found your potentially perfect room. What's the next big thing?
Acoustic treatments. The article really hammers this home.
Right.
You can have the best gear in the world, but if the room acoustics are bad, it's just not going to sound good. It makes you think of the room itself as another component in your system.
That's a great way to put it. Like putting a Ferrari engine in a rusty old car with bad tires. You won't get the performance.
Exactly. So the article talks about key treatments. First up, bass straps, specifically for corners.
Yes, corners. They're like collection points for low-frequency sound, for bass.
Which leads to that muddy, boomy sound.
Precisely. So bass traps are designed to absorb that excess low-end energy, tightens up the bass, makes it more defined.
Okay. Then you got absorption panels for the walls.
And these are more for the mid and high frequencies.
Generally, yes. They tame those really quick, harsh reflections off the walls, especially the ones that hit your ears first. Makes the sound less brittle, less fatiguing to listen to for longer periods.
Gotcha. And then diffusers, they sound a bit different.
They work differently. Instead of soaking up the sound energy, they scatter it.
Scatter it?
Yeah, imagine sound hitting a flat wall. It bounces back in one direction.
Need top-quality electrical wire? Baboom's got you covered. Get your 6-pack today. Each combo comes in 6 different colors and a total of 600 feet of wire. Perfect for any project, and you won't find a better price in the industry. Head over to baboom.com now to snag yours. That's baboom.com.
A diffuser has an uneven surface, so when sound hits it, it bounces off in lots of different directions.
Ah, okay.
It breaks up strong reflections, but keeps some energy in the room so it doesn't sound too dead. It adds a sense of spaciousness, a more natural ambiance.
So it's not just about killing all reflections.
No, not at all. The article mentions focusing treatment on first reflection points.
Which are?
The spots on your sidewalls, the ceiling, even the floor, where the sound from your speakers bounces directly towards your listening chair.
Makes sense to tackle those first, most direct bounces.
Definitely gives you the biggest bang for your buck, usually. And the article talks about finding a balance, right? Not too dead, not too live or echoey.
Yeah, that balancing act. Too much absorption, and the music sounds flat, lifeless.
Right. Too many reflections, and it's all muddled, no clarity.
So it's about control. The article also mentions using, everyday things, too. Rugs, curtains, bookshelves.
Absolutely. Thick rugs, heavy drapes, a well-stocked bookshelf, even strategically placed furniture can all help absorb or diffuse sound. You don't necessarily need to plaster the room with panels immediately.
Good to know.
Experimentation is key here. Moving things around, seeing what works in your specific space.
Okay, so room chosen, acoustics considered. Now the fun part, the gear.
Now the gear, yes.
Yeah.
The article lays out the essentials, good speakers, obviously bookshelf or floor standers from decent brands.
Right.
A quality amplifier that works well with those speakers.
Sure.
That synergy is important.
We'll come back to that.
Yeah.
And your sources, of course.
Yeah, high-res streaming, it may be a turntable if you love vinyl, CD player, whatever you use. And interestingly, it does call out using good quality cables and interconnects.
Ah, the great cable debate.
Yeah.
But the article's main point seems to be about synergy, how everything works together.
That's the crucial takeaway. It emphasizes that a well-matched system, even with mid-tier components, can sound way better than just throwing expensive but mismatched high-end stuff together.
It's about the sum of the parts.
Precisely. They also touch on compatibility, things like speaker sensitivity and amplifier power output.
Okay, for someone maybe less familiar, what's the gist of sensitivity and amplifier output? Why match them?
Okay, sensitivity is basically how loud a speaker gets with a certain amount of power. Think of it as efficiency.
Right.
Amp output is just how much power the amp can deliver. If your speakers aren't very sensitive, you need a more powerful amp to get them playing loud and clear without screening.
Gotcha. And if they're super sensitive?
Then a massively powerful amp might be overkill, could even damage them if you're not careful. You want a good match so the system can handle dynamics in the music effortlessly.
Okay. And isolation.
Yeah.
Stands, platforms.
Yeah, really important. Getting speakers off the floor onto proper stands, using vibration damping platforms.
Yeah.
It stops resonance from muddying the sound, improves clarity.
So you've got the room, the treatments, the synergistic gear.
Yeah.
You just plonk it down anywhere, right?
If only. No. Speaker placement and where you sit.
Yeah.
Absolutely critical, according to the article. This is where that equilateral triangle thing comes in.
Right, the classic setup. Speakers and listener forming a triangle with equal sides.
Pretty much. And speaker height is key, too. Getting the tweeters, the high-frequency drivers, roughly at ear level when you're sitting down.
Okay.
And then there's toe-in.
Angling the speakers inward.
Exactly, angling them slightly towards where you sit. The article suggests a starting point for placement to maybe about a third of the room length away from the wall behind the speakers.
A starting point.
Yeah.
And then you adjust.
Oh, yeah. Tiny adjustments, moving them inches forward, back, wider, narrower, changing that toe-in angle. It can make a surprising difference to the soundstage and imaging.
Soundstage and imaging. Let's define those quickly.
Good idea. Imaging is how precisely you can see where each instrument or voice is located in the sound picture between and beyond the speakers.
Like the singer's right there, the guitar is over there.
Exactly. And soundstage is the overall size of that picture, the width, the depth, even the height. A good setup creates a big, stable, three-dimensional soundstage that feels realistic.
Okay. And the article warns about putting speakers too close to walls, especially the back wall.
Yes, definitely. Too close usually reinforces the bass too much, makes it sound bloated and slow. Boomy!
Got it. And where you sit matters too, not right up against the back wall.
Preferably not. Sitting a bit away from the back wall helps minimize strong reflections coming from behind you, avoids problematic bass buildup right where you're listening.
So it's all about finding that sweet spot.
That's the term they use, yeah. Where the direct sound from the speakers and the room's reflections blend just right to create that realistic, immersive sound.
Sounds like a process.
Yeah.
But even if you nail all that, there's still outside influences, right? Noise, power.
Absolutely. The article spends good time on controlling ambient noise. Simple things first, thick curtains, rugs, like we mentioned. Even just sealing gaps around windows and doors can help block outside noise.
Little things add up.
They do. For bigger problems, it mentions maybe solid core doors, acoustic caulk, more involved soundproofing stuff, and HVAC noise, the hum from your heating or air conditioning.
Oh yeah, that can definitely pull you out of the music, especially in quiet parts.
For sure. And then there's the electricity itself, clean power.
Right. How important is that?
Pretty important for optimal performance. The article suggests maybe a dedicated power line just for the audio system, separate from noisy appliances. And using a good power conditioner to filter out electrical noise and interference from the main supply. Some people go even further with isolated power supplies, balanced power. Gets pretty deep.
Wow, the detail. Okay, so you've done all this. Room, treatment, gear, placement, noise, power. What's left?
The final, maybe most crucial stage, fine-tuning and trusting your ears.
Critical listening.
Yes, really sit down and listen. How's the imaging? Is the sound stage wide and deep? Is the bass tight and controlled or loose? Is the mid-range clear? Are the highs detailed but not harsh?
And based on what you hear, you tweak things.
Exactly. Nudge the speakers again, adjust the toe in, maybe move your chair slightly, add or move an acoustic panel. It's an iterative process.
And the article says, ultimately, your ears are the final judge.
Absolutely. It mentions tools, measurement mics, software like Room EQ Wizard, which can give you objective data about your room.
Useful, I imagine.
Very useful for identifying problems. But the article stresses that what sounds good and enjoyable to you is what really matters in the end. Subjective preference plays a huge role.
Right. It's your experience. Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. What are the absolute core takeaways from this Baboom guide?
Well, the main thing is that it's a whole package deal. It's holistic. It's not just buying pricey gear. It's the room itself, the acoustic treatments, choosing components that work well together, careful placement, controlling noise and power, and then that final patient fine-tuning by listening.
Synergy and balance seem like the key words.
Definitely. It's all about how everything interacts to create the final sound.
And a memorable detail for me was that point about the rug. Just a simple rug between you and the speakers, making a difference to the soundstage clarity.
Yeah. It's a perfect example of how even seemingly small things contribute in this pursuit. It's nuanced.
It really is. And this stuff isn't just for, the hardcore audiophile with a dedicated cave, right?
Not at all. The principles apply anywhere you listen seriously. Improving the sound in your living room for music, podcasts, movies. These ideas are valuable across the board.
Absolutely. Which leads us to a final thought for you, the listener. Considering this level of detail, this intentionality in creating a listening space, what other everyday environments could benefit from thinking more about sound and acoustics?
That's interesting.
Maybe your home office, better sound for calls, or even your car, where many of us listen to a lot of audio. How could these principles, maybe adapted, improve sound elsewhere in your daily life?
Something to think about, definitely. How sound affects us in all sorts of spaces.
Well, thanks for taking this deep dive with us today.
Need top-quality electrical wire? Baboom's got you covered. Get your 6-pack today. Each combo comes in 6 different colors and a total of 600 feet of wire. Perfect for any project, and you won't find a better price in the industry. Head over to baboom.com now to snag yours. That's baboom.com.